I mean, with the markets being down right now, literally this system is printing money, just spitting out quarters every second, right? So look, I'm up $3,000 in profit in 14 days. Yes, I have some things in the red here. If I were to close everything down, I'd be down only $700. But again, that's unrealized, right? That's unrealized. I have not closed it. I'm keeping these going because they're printing me money. 3,000 in profit in 14 days, doing pretty much nothing. This is just, it still blows my mind. And I've been doing it now for over 6 months. I cannot believe this. Check this out. Hey folks, welcome to Beach Office 365, where I bring you the latest and greatest in crypto, DeFi, and passive income. I wanted to do another video on the bot trading strategy that I've been doing. And if you haven't seen some of the previous videos that I've done, I will leave some links in the description down below. Definitely check them up. There's a lot of opportunity, I believe, in bot trading. When I first found out about these, I was kind of mind blown at what they're able to do. It's basically setting up these bots that automatically do trading for me. Right? So I set it up with certain parameters that I type in, and then it does the buying and selling for me. And I don't really have to do anything, but just receive profits on a daily basis. A little background about me. I've definitely done a lot of trading within stock markets, and I got into crypto trading a little over a year ago. During my time back in 2013 to about 2015, I really got heavily into swing trading in the stock market. And swing trading is difficult. It didn't matter how many newsletters I got into and trading signals, and trying to just mirror someone else's trades is actually harder than you'd think. And I experienced a lot of highs, but I experienced a lot of lows with that. The same thing, even when I got into crypto a little over a year ago, I was definitely heavily getting involved in Bitcoin, and I still am a big believer in Bitcoin. I do think that blockchain, this I think is the biggest invention since the internet, and how it's going to impact our daily lives. And so I'm a big believer in Bitcoin and Ethereum, and then I also was getting involved in the altcoins. Dogecoin, I got in and made really good profit there. Shiba Inu. So the dogs, I did well with the dogs, right? Shiba Inu was one that I did really well in. Something that I've talked about in a few of my different videos that I've made it has to do with psychology around being in markets, whether it's the stock market or crypto markets, and doing trading. And that is that there's logic rules to follow, and then our emotions affect those. Right? And how our emotions can take over, which should be pretty simple logic. And, I wanted to kind of bring up that our emotions come in to effect when things are going obviously really poorly for us, and a lot of fear comes in, but our emotions also come into effect when we're getting super excited, right? And the challenges of when we're in a trade where we're up big. That's not really talked about a whole lot. And so I just wanted to go over one of the trades that I was in in 2021 that I made a ton of money on, but I wanted to just kind of quickly take a look at it and show you just something that I had to deal with when I was in this trade. So let's take a quick look here. So I got into Shiba Inu. I bought in like around here. Okay. And then of course it declined, came down to about right here. I think I made another smaller purchase around here. And then I just wrote out just months of nothingness. I basically forgot that I even had it in my portfolio. I was out doing other things, right? Towards the end of December, October, boom, this happens. And I mean, wow, right? Like huge. And at this point, because I had dollar cost average, even though I had bought in right around here, because I had made, or I bought in around here, I'm sorry. And then down right here, I was actually up pretty big right here. And, I decided to not sell any of it. Okay. And then it, boom, goes up again. All right. So right here, I did make a small sell, right? I think I sold like 25%. And the truth is, as exciting as this was, I got to tell you, I was actually really stressed out. I mean, really stressed out. I was not present with any of my relationships. I could barely keep track of the other business that I have. And it was really difficult. I mean, I was glued to my phone, glued to the prices, following simple, logical rules. I should have been selling along the way, right? I don't believe that you just, you buy something and just you call the top, right? You should follow rules. You should be dollar cost averaging in when it's going down, and then you should have targets, sell targets as it's going up. And I knew that was the case, but I also knew that this may have been like one of those trades where, people were talking about it going and breaking another zero down. And I held it probably much longer than I should have. I did make a final sell. Actually, it had gotten all the way up to here. I was holding it all the way here. And then as it started pulling back down, I then did get out. I still made a good amount of money on this trade. But, we're talking pretty much the entire month of October was exhausting for me being in this. And I get it, right? Like cry me a river type of thing. Like you're in a winning trade, like shut up. But, the truth is that is part of what, swing trading can bring, is just a ton of stress. So even when things, go down, which can be just depressing and absolutely miserable, when things are going up, it's challenging as well. So I just wanted to quickly bring that up. It's just not how I want to live my life, right? Where I'm just glued to charts and glued to the screen and having to make these decisions super fast. And it's not how I want to live. And really, I love being able to make money and then put that money to work for me, which generates me money passively, right? So that when I go to bed at night, when I wake up in the morning, I have more money than I did before I went to sleep. Right? That to me is passive. Believing that cryptocurrency had that opportunity somewhere, I just wasn't sure where it was. And that's when I first heard about crypto bots, and I heard about Dan Hollings and the plan, which I've been talking about in previous videos, and I was blown away. I was blown away at what it was able to do for me in terms of a very simple system of setting things up that it doesn't really matter if the price is going up or down, as long as it's kind of staying within a range, I'm making money. And, to me, this has become probably my biggest passive income investment of all the things that I do. I have an online business with publishing, affiliate sales. I'm obviously big into DeFi projects that I cover on this channel, which I'm really big into. But I would say that in terms of income and profitability, the bot trading is where I'm making the majority of my money. And so I wanted to do just another follow-up, because yesterday, obviously, we had a pretty nasty day in the markets, and it's still pretty volatile out there. So I just wanted to go over where I'm at with some of my bots to keep you guys up to date and to bring you, obviously the good, but I do want to be honest and just show you where some of the bad is still, and where I think you still need to be very careful. I'm not a financial advisor. Okay. I'm not an expert. And this is me just sharing my journey. You really have to do what's best for you, and you have to do your own research and know that, crypto is an extremely risky and volatile environment to be in. And, even following someone else's strategy that's been proven to work well, there's still risks that are involved. So you really have to do your own research. But let's take a look at my bots here. All right, before we take a look at the bots, just real quick, looking at Bitcoin. So as you can see, this is the daily. The channel that this has been trading in for several months now, it did break this trend line here yesterday. We are having a little bit of a bounce today, but because it has broken this, there's concern that it could a little bit more downside here. The idea is that it snaps off this and we kind of head back up like that, which could potentially happen. But again, it's pretty volatile out there. If we go over to my bots, all right. So as you can see, I wanted to bring you the good, the bad, the ugly here. And what I want to show is some of the ones that are in red. Now, I started a position yesterday for VRA, which I think is a crypto that has a lot of opportunity. This would be something that I definitely would not mind holding because I think there's just enormous potential, and it's still at a pretty small market cap right now. It's generating me, let's see, 0.8% per day, which is pretty good. I mean, this is the type of wiggle, as we like to call it, that I like. I've made $60 on this already after about a day and 3 hours. Now it's down right now, but that's okay. Again, you don't enter bots to just be green all the time. Like, the idea is that it's going to go like this, right? And I'm going to show you that in a second here. So like if we come down to ape, which has done very well for me, we go to the ape chart. If you look, right, like I started down here, and you may be wondering, well, wait a minute, how come the grid isn't down here? This is where you started, and I can see all the buys and sells from these little, the little circles, the red and green circles. How come the chart's not down here? Well, what happened is I got into this, and it just, had this huge pump here. It just started pumping, and at some point, I want to say it was about right around this area, the price went above the grid. So when that happens, I have what's called trailing up on, meaning that the grid will move up as my bots are trading up, and it will adjust. And as a result, my lower part of the grid will also start moving up. Okay, that's what's really cool. They also have this in reverse. It can go down as well. So there's a trailing down feature, but with that one, you have to add more capital to it. So I don't use that one as much. If it's a particular coin pair that I'm in that I really would not mind holding and would be happy to dollar cost average in even more, then I would turn trailing down on. But a lot of times I don't leave that one on, and I prefer to just have the trailing up on to capture, moves to the upside. But, again, this is, this type of system is not about catching something that just goes straight up. In fact, I've made more money off of this when it was very volatile going down. The last 24 hours have been actually pretty profitable for me, which I'm glad, because I was kind of kicking myself that I didn't sell when it was in these kind of this high area. I probably should have just closed out the bot to secure some gains, because the market is looking pretty pretty bearish right now, in my opinion. But I just saw that, with the increase in volume, that this thing was going to be bouncing around like crazy, and I wanted to take advantage of the volatility of this. And so anyway, just this kind of gives you an idea of what you're looking for. Again, you want it to go up and down, up and down, up and down. That's how you make the most money. I have been in some, I've set up some bots that basically when I got in, it just kind of went up, right? And I didn't make as much money because it wasn't wiggling as much. It was just kind of slowly going up, which is great if you wanted to maybe swing trade it, but that's not what we're doing here. The great thing about this is that it's not about timing, the bottoms and the tops. It's about getting in and being in a particular coin that you would not mind owning, right? And making money while you hold it. Anyway, he is going to be having a live webinar coming up this week. He's going to do one on, I believe, Tuesday, and then another one either later in the week or next week. I'll leave the links down below. It's free. So this is an opportunity for you to kind of get a peek underneath the hood of what he teaches. This is a guy who basically ran, I want to say he put $1 million through Bitscap trying to figure out the best possible way to run bots, because there's all different types of settings that you just type in, which he's going to give you. So I highly recommend you listen to this guy, because he has put a ton of money and put a ton of time through this. And when he figured out how to do this, he really just shared it with friends and family. He had no idea that he was going to end up, creating, content around this for everyone else. Done, and implementing it for myself has been probably one of the best investments I've ever done in terms of creating passive income, anything to do with markets, trading, crypto, anything. I've never found anything better than this when it comes to consistently creating passive income. The downsides to it are, I do believe it works better when we are in a bullish market. And you do need, I think, a fair amount of capital in comparison to what some people may have. Anyway, thank you for sticking with me through this. I know this is a little bit of a longer presentation. Again, questions, leave down in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next one.